it going, everybody? So we have a fun review today as we're talking Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. As someone that's a lifelong fan of the Mad Max franchise, I've been itching for a new installment. It's been a very long time now since Mad Max Fury Road, and ever since this prequel was announced, I was really intrigued on how he would continue to expand upon this universe. Snatched from the green place of many mothers, young Furiosa falls into the hands of a great biker horde led by the warlord Dementis. Sweeping through the wasteland, they come across the Citadel, presided over by Immortan Joe. As the two tyrants fight for dominance, Furiosa soon finds herself in a non-stop battle to make her way home. For a film like Furiosa, it definitely has lofty expectations considering Mad Max Fury Road arguably as one of the greatest action movies of the modern era. So I do have to commend George Miller for going the more unconventional route, choosing to follow that up, expanding upon Furiosa's backstory, which involves many things that we heard her reference back in Fury Road, but now we're seeing it visually. And by doing so, it gives those moments in Fury Road a lot more of an impact, while also highlighting how other characters came to be in the later installments. Furiosa is going for a different style of story compared to Mad Max Fury Road, carving out a ferocious, gritty revenge epic through the wastelands that still does manage to deliver on that high-octane, stylized action that we all know and love from the franchise, while also still packing on so much emotion, with many intimate moments with the characters throughout the journey. In the truest of ways, Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga is a bona fide epic. The scale, the world building, the overall expansion of the lore within the world of Mad Max continues to be one of the major highlights of a film like this, thanks to the multitude of wild and twisted characters who inhabit the wasteland, new ones and familiar ones that Furiosa meets along this journey. There's always been a vast amount of strange characters that inhabit this world, but I don't know, a character that's called Piss Boy might be the one that takes the cake for me. Given that Mad Max Fury Road has some of the greatest action set pieces of all time, I wasn't really sure if anything in Furiosa was going to top that or be at that same level, and it does still manage to get pretty darn close. Besides the fact that these sequences are just breathtaking to look at, several of these action sequences are insane. Not that we really needed George Miller to prove himself in the action sequence category, but yet he finds new ways to make these adrenaline-fueled, explosive battles and the multitude of various chase sequences mind-blowing from a visual standpoint, especially in the way that he continues to utilize that signature Mad Max style and incorporating that into the action. There's a wide array of action sequences that are top-notch, but there's one in particular that involves a war rig and people that are attacking the war rig. That one in particular probably was the most insane of all the set pieces. To come clean a little bit, I was hesitant for a while on the idea that we were going to have another person play Furiosa, because I think Charlize Theron's performance in Mad Max Fury Road was phenomenal, and I get you want to have someone else portray a younger version of the character, but it took me a little bit to warm up to the idea of Anya Taylor-Joy playing the character, and by the end of the film, she completely won me over with her performance. Really makes the character of Furiosa her own, making you feel so many of the emotions of her character, the anger that she feels from everything that's been stolen from her. Despite the fact that she doesn't have a lot of dialogue in the film and she doesn't even appear for the first hour or so, she completely commands the screen once she takes over, and you understand why she's so driven by revenge. Plus the fact that she's just a complete badass, perfectly selling Furiosa's ferocity and physicality when she takes on Dementis. With everything that we build up across Furiosa's journey and understand her character more and more, it makes that final showdown between her and Dementis all the more satisfying. Speaking more on Dementis, this is the type of performance I didn't even know Chris Hemsworth had in him. It was astonishing seeing him bring his A-game to such an odd, unconventional, cruel character. Practically every single scene that Dementis was in, he completely chews up the scenery as this over-the-top cruel villain, which did make it all the more fun rooting against him as all the chaos unfolds while he fights for dominance in the wasteland. I don't know if it was George Miller himself that pulled out this crazy, unconventional performance out of Chris Hemsworth, but I think that we need to have more of these collaborations between the two, or at the very least, we need to see more villain roles for Chris Hemsworth. If it's going to be anywhere near as entertaining as this, I think he's going to make a great villain in other films. As much praise as I'm harping on Furiosa as a film, because I do think it's a genuinely amazing prequel, from a narrative standpoint, there are a few things that I did have an issue with. I definitely don't think it's as punchy of a film compared to Mad Max Fury Road, though I do think that is intentional. It is a bit more of a grounded journey in comparison to Fury Road, or as grounded as you can be in an environment like the Mad Max universe. And though I was mostly engaged with Furiosa's journey of revenge, visualizing her origin, there for sure are parts throughout the film that did drag a little bit for me. It'd be crazy not to bring this up, but I do love George Miller's visual flair that he implements for the Mad Max films, giving it an extremely unique styling. However, some of the stylistic visuals used here do look very rough. It was to the point where I wasn't sure if it was intentionally rough or not. You never really know these days with the VFX work. Some of the CGI backgrounds are very obvious. Still, I'll always admire George Miller's craftsmanship, as it is extremely unique and one of the major factors to why these movies are so appealing, but it was a little bit weird. This isn't even a criticism, but I don't think that this movie is one that you can kind of just jump into. I think you will have a much better experience watching Fury Road, just because it does fill in a lot of the gaps story-wise, so you get a better understanding of Furiosa. It isn't structured in a way that caters to brand new audiences, which I guess makes sense. It is the 5th installment in the franchise, after all. All around, Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, is an awesome companion piece to Mad Max Fury Road. I love what they did here, expanding upon Furiosa's origin, adding in so many great layers, while also still managing to deliver a fun, new, epic revenge tale. It's surreal that after all these decades, they still continue to make fantastic films in this franchise. It goes to show you just how great of a vision George Miller has for this universe, and he's not pumping out sequels quickly, taking his time. And I can't wait to see what he does next with the universe. I mean, there's so many different directions we can go at this point. Once you get a chance to check out Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, make sure you share your thoughts down below. What'd you think of the film? Did you like the film? Did you not like the film? Share all your thoughts down below, because part of the fun of this is that conversation with you guys in the comment section. Thank you guys, as always, checking out videos. I always do appreciate it. Make sure you like on the video and also subscribe to the channel to update reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. So next time, I'll see you guys later.